I hope all is well with everybody. Welcome in. We're going to get started in just a second. I'm sending out my shares. But if you are new here and you do not know who I am, hi, my name is Kendra. I am a plant-based lifestyle strategist. I'm here to support you and helping you understand exactly what is going on with not only our food industry, but also how to use food as your medicine effectively so that we can reverse and heal whatever we have going on when it comes to our body, showing us signs and symptoms that something is completely off. I don't know why it's so dark. I wonder if it's because the window is closed. Like, it's so dark over here. I need to let a little light in. That didn't really help at all. Yeah, that didn't really help at all. It's so light over here. I mean, it's so dark over here. But I hope that, first of all, you're having a great start to your day. Okay, and then I did that and it did not fix it. Okay, kind of. I hope you're having a great start to your day. Um, this is for the women who recently have been told that they have insulin resistance or know that they're going down this path, this route of eventually having diabetes. If you are in the doctor's office and they're telling you that we're going to keep an eye on it or that we're going to help you be able to manage it with medication and things like that, and they're mentioning it and it seems like it's inevitable and it seems like you have no other place to go, there's no other space for you besides medicine or a surgery or whatever else that they're suggesting, because nowadays they're telling you get all these GLP-1s, these medicines with these commercials about blood sugar regulation and weight loss. And a lot of people don't want to go down that route. I know that I was one of those people who didn't want to go down that route. I didn't want to be on a prescription for the rest of my life. I didn't want to have to depend on a medication for me to get my body back right or to be able to take care of my body or to understand my body. And so this is the space for you. If you are looking for somewhere that is not just going to give you some type of passive medication or some type of momentary band-aid to help you feel good now, but doesn't fix the issue. Because a lot of people right now are in a space of chasing this wellness trends, and they realize, especially for the women who do this often and they cannot hold a stable weight, you realize how detrimental it is because you're never actually being able to achieve and to keep the goals and the repercussions, the consequences of you taking care of your body momentarily and then flipping back to your old habits. And so this is for the women who have felt that that diagnosis does not land in the lifestyle that you see for yourself, that life that you see for yourself. The women who have been sitting at home trying to figure out how they're going to take care of their body and what diet is next and what diet is going to fix all these issues, doing keto and paleo or Weight Watchers and etc. in order for you to get into a weight loss goal, and not feeling right and feeling at home in your own body, but you're trying to figure out why. You're trying to get to the root cause, and you know that there is more, there's a different path, there is more to life than just waiting until you get a next illness or waiting until you're old to be diagnosed with something, right? Feeling that inflammation, that heaviness in your belly, those energy crashes, that brain fog, having those cravings that are intense and that you should have more control over, but you feel like you have no control. The exhaustion that keeps you from either sleeping or keeps you from resting, even though you did sleep all throughout the night. And underneath all of these symptoms that you were feeling and that women are dealing with, there is a fear of thinking about, I could have diabetes one day. I could be in the same realm that my mom, my grandma, my dad, my grandpa, or anybody else in my family are in, which is taking insulin for the rest of my life. And the fear is not coming from a place of being dramatic or something that's irrational. It's intuitive. It is something for you to use, not something for you to cower and to run away from, but it's something for you to realize that this fear is coming from a direct response to let me know that my nervous system, my subconscious is realizing the path that we're going down. And it's trying to give me all the signals and the signs to let me know you can change this today. Your body is asking for change. It's asking for you to intervene. It's looking for you to intervene and change the habits that you have so that you are not in this space of believing that this is the path that you're going down and everybody goes down this path of illness and disease and sickness. Because Insulin resistance itself is not a random disease. No disease is random. They're not just attacking you because your family is lineage in your family tree and they're like, well, your family looks like a good place to give diabetes. But no, it is a part of a metabolic dysfunction when it comes to you not taking care of your body, not having the correct habits, whether it's you learn these at a very, very young age, that whole mindset and concept of you're young, you can eat all this junk now, you'll get it together later on, right? Because that's what they teach us. But it's a metabolic dysfunction that is in its early stage. And by early stages means something powerful, which means that it can be reversed, regardless of how late it is or how early it is. But when you catch it earlier, do you understand how simplified the process can be? So insulin resistance is an early stage of sign of diabetes, of you developing diabetes, being basically pre-diabetic, right? But it can be reversed when you have the correct habits and the right methods towards supporting your body to feel safe again. But most women are not given a reversal plan. They are given a monitoring plan. We're going to watch it. We're going to wait and see. Try to lose weight even though you haven't been able to hold a stable weight in over 30 or 40 years of your life. Cut out sugar, cut out carbs, and cut back. And in about 6 months, we'll be back and we'll look and we'll see what your record is. We'll see what your blood work is looking like. And then after 6 months of you doing this, and maybe you did take care of yourself right then, and maybe your doctor even says, good job, keep it going. How long are you going to continue this habit of you not having any sugar, not having any carbs, you sitting here and you're working out intensely because you're trying to meet this goal of next time I go to the doctor, I don't want to get diagnosed, right? But then when you don't have another doctor's appointment until a year from then, and you were sitting there baking on, okay, another 6 months and I should be fine. And then after that 6 months, you flip back to your old habits. You cut in carbs again. You start allowing sugar back in your life. And then you go back to the doctor and your doctor goes, what happened? And you're looking at the doctor going, I don't know. I was doing so good at one point. This is management. This space is not correction. It's not restoration. It's not reversal. And you can feel the difference. And the reason why this is not a space of correction and reversal is because you never learned habit patterns that keep you away from the terrible toxic habits that led you there in the first place. You did not learn how to have a stable foundation of healthy habits. Instead, you have these momentary band-aids that you are stacking on top of each other like little building blocks. So if you're doing Jenga, for example, and yes, it can be stable right then, but when you have all those holes and cracks that need to be filled because the foundation is full of cracks, and you have all of these holes and cracks that need to be filled with healthy habits that subconsciously make you feel safe, and you don't do that, it's eventually going to crumble. Because you're taking away pieces to something that was never whole. Oh, I'm cutting out carbs. Oh, I'm going to cut out sugar. I'm going to stop eating this X, Y, and Z until I get to this point. And then after this, I'm going to start eating this and this and this. And you're starting all these different ketos and paleos, and you're cutting out carbs. You're cutting out sugar here. You're cutting out this. You're cutting out that. I'm only eating this kind of meat. And then you get tired of doing that. And instead of you being able to be in a space where you have healthy habits that allow you to, maybe you eat a salad tomorrow, you eat this healthy, hearty little soup the next day, and etc., and have a plethora of different meals that help you keep going, that show your body comfort in the space of taking care of yourself. Instead, you have all these starvation habits. I'm not going to eat today because I'm going to fast until 24 hours. And even though I didn't prepare myself yesterday for a 24-hour fast, this is what I'm going to do. Your body is still in an inflamed state when you are in this chaotic management state. It's going to be exhausted continuously, and then it has all the instability of you not having a healthy foundation. Like I said, it's just like Jenga. When you start to pull those little blocks out and you're starting to pull apart pieces, but you don't have a healthy foundation, it's going to be leaning, it's going to be wobbly, and eventually it's going to crumble and it's going to fall. We are not here to babysit a disease. We are here to change the path that you are on, because when we babysit a disease, guess what? We are keeping it maintained. We're keeping it alive. We're giving it a comfortable space. We don't want to give it comfort. We don't want to give it peace. We don't want it to give a place where it can thrive any longer. We want to change the path that we are on so that it makes it so uncomfortable it cannot live here anymore. You yourself should be comfortable on this path. But any disease, any illness, anything that you have going on, any symptoms that you have going on should not feel comfortable in a space of you starting to take care of yourself. And it's going to reflect that. And that's what I teach with the people who come work with me, that work in my program, that book one-on-ones with me. I don't teach from a management space, a bunch of theories. I teach from embodiment, us understanding how to set a foundation for yourself, knowing how it feels to feel trapped inside of a body that is not responding correctly, knowing how it feels to be confused of why your body feels like it's turning against you, even when you are eating healthy. You're trying harder, you're eating less, you're pushing through, right? And you still feel worse. Why is that? And that's what I help women figure out. Why in the world am I still feeling this? By getting to the root cause of what's going in or what's going on. Walking you through the steps of this is why you're having the symptoms. This is the root cause. Now that we have addressed how we've got here, let's not spiral out like doctors leave you to do, which is to spiral. Go on Google, right? Go through the extremes. Punish yourself for being hungry. Fearmonger you into taking a prescription. That's not structure. What you do through structure is learning about your metabolic structure and understanding your biology as a woman, learning your cycle phases and understanding how impactful that is for your insulin, learning how to make your nervous system feel safe again and giving it that safety every day. Having anti-inflammatory habits that allow your body to feel safe, to fight off any illnesses, to fight off diseases, to have a healthy immune system inside the gut. And have that habit recalibration that everybody should be looking for on your health journey if you are just now starting a correct health journey. Because yes, diet culture is popular and people do diets all the time, but a health journey is you realizing that health journey and diet culture do not go together. Because watching people stabilize their health, specifically their blood sugar, and on top of that, in the space where they want to lose weight and they haven't been able to lose weight, or that it's been really, really difficult to keep a stable weight, and seeing them see that real time progress is absolutely heartwarming. Not only for me, but it also helps me remind me where I started. Because I started in a space where I was struggling with keeping a healthy weight. I was struggling with asthma that I had developed in high school from working out. I was having chronic knee pain from all the inflammation in my body in 5th grade. And I was around, I don't know how old I was, honestly, but it was around 2022 when I had started, 2021, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it was about 20, it was about the end of 2022. 2022, if I have that correct, if I'm counting right in my head, because we're in 2026, the time flies. And I helped my body be able to stabilize its weight. I helped me be able to get that energy stabilization. I helped those cravings, specifically sugar addiction, to be able to balance and to calm itself, and had a confident space to be in when I was taking care of my body and not a chaotic space. And it's not just because I was chasing symptoms, but because I started to give myself that corrected system of structure. Sugar-free anything does not mean that it doesn't have sweetener in it, because sugar-free is just a marketing gimmick. I don't know if we're asking this seriously, because you're saying, could you drink it every morning and still lose weight? The issue is, why do you need a Red Bull every single morning? And two, another issue is that people don't understand how detrimental marketing is. And I'm going to get back onto the topic of what I was talking about in just a second, as soon as we come to the realization of how heavy marketing is when it comes to labeling. Because a sugar-free drink, a sugar-free snack, like keto and not keto, what is it? Weight Watchers and Jenny Craig promotes that they have sugar-free snacks, are contained with aspartame, which is not, and that's okay to realize, but we have to know why. For instance, a lot of these sugar-free sweeteners are contained with aspartame. We know aspartame causes cancer. Aspartame is highly addictive. Sugar itself, processed sugar, natural sugar, it can become a craving, but it's not addictive like processed sugars are, because it stimulates our dopamine. And so you have to think about, if you're waking up and you're having to drink Red Bull for you to have energy through the day and to also satiate that craving, it's because you have an addiction to the sweetener, which is aspartame. A lot of the times it's in your sugar-free Sprites, your caffeine-free drinks, because the same reason why you still get that like kind of like sugar rush or energy burst is because of the processed sugar that's inside of it. Even though it's sugar free, it still has sweetener. Just like high fructose corn syrup itself is not a sugar, it's still a sweetener. Molasses is not sugar, but it's a sweetener. But they don't use molasses in majority of these things because it's thick. It's hard to get it to not crystallize or to sit at the bottom and coat the bottom. And people look at things that coat at the bottom like, ew, what is this, you know? And so they market it really, really well. Even though you drink water all day, you have to think about how you're starting your day. You are starting your day off with breaking your fast, because breakfast is breaking your fast. That even though they call it breakfast, it is breaking your fast. You are breaking your fast and starting your day with the Red Bull. So that means you're starting your day with, and I don't know if aspartame is in Red Bull, but like it's some artificial sweetener like aspartame. So let's say that it is aspartame. You're starting your day off with a terrible toxic sugar that is, or a sweetener that is man-made, and then on top of that, known to cause cancer. And on top of that, it's also going to spike your insulin and your blood sugar as soon as you start your day. That's dangerous. That's a dangerous place to be, because as soon as you start your day with starting your blood sugar high, causing your insulin to spike, you are not going to have energy for the rest of the day. So you're going to have to depend on a Red Bull again or other caffeinated drinks. You're not going to be able to rest effectively, because your body, when it's in a state of elevated high insulin and high blood sugar, this spikes your cortisol. And so this is a snowball effect of, not only are you going to have stress in the brain, stress in the body from the habits that you're having when it comes to whatever you're eating throughout the day, what you started your day with. And it's just a snowball effect of your system not being supported. I don't know what that is. Is that a caffeinated drink, or what is it called? An energy drink? I don't know what that is. I don't drink energy drinks. I've been plant-based for over 5.5 years, or about 5.5 years. I haven't done the math exactly, but it's been over 5 years. I never was really big on drinking energy drinks. I had one Monster in my entire life, and it was because they gave it to us on, I think twice. They gave it to us for free on campus. I had 2 different flavors. They, of course, because it's college, it was around exam time, they were marketing on our campus. They gave us free drinks. I had a Monster for the first time. I've had maybe 2 or 3 Red Bulls in my life, and it was during college. So I don't drink energy drinks. That's just not my thing. I rarely drink coffee. And if you are going to be drinking coffee, you need to make sure that not only is it a good source of coffee beans, because if you know anything about what's going on with the lawsuits right now, Starbucks is being sued from having all of these chemicals that are like in paint thinners and etc. in their coffee beans. But people don't realize it's not just Starbucks. It's a lot of your commercial coffees, or coffee beans in general, because you can go to the store and still get the same quality that you get at Starbucks, because of the fact that they have to heavily spray down your coffee beans and things with pesticides and etc. to keep them, 1, on the shelf, and 2, from bugs. So you have to make sure that you're getting it from a good source. I have a vegan spot that's really good. They use a bunch of local products and produce and etc., including for the fact that their coffee beans are locally sourced. They're not shipped from wherever and sprayed down with whatever. I try to, more likely than not, my main places, because I have no chain vegan spots, but if you are coming from a space where you have never learned how to pinpoint or to search out good quality food, get away from chain restaurants. Get away from anything that is heavily publicized with commercials. Stop eating those and find those small local brands. Find those smaller brands that maybe have just come out that haven't been sold to General Mills or Pillsbury or whoever else. You know what I mean? Like, these are just small little changes that you can make. And that's what I teach with my program, is making those small little changes. But it's more in a light of not just like how I just pinpointed it, of like just going to the store and trying new things, but breaking down and showing you this is the products that you can use versus this is the products that you're using currently. Because It's tailored to your lifestyle. When we have our first initial meeting, I ask you, what are the key points that you are trying to get out of this program? What are the things that you were looking for in this program? Is it for you to lose weight? What products in your home do you feel like are affecting you that are keeping you from weight loss? Whether it's snacks, whether it's juice, like etc. And asking those questions and getting down to the nitty gritty. Like my past client, she was not only focusing on herself, but she also was focusing on her daughter's health. Her daughter was really into ramen noodles. She loved ramen noodles. And she was like, and I'm trying to get her away from eating all the ramen that she eats. And then I'm going to get back on track, y'all, I promise. Because this ties into it. And so as we were working through the program, and I was telling her, okay, when we go to the grocery store for this week, because this week we're focusing on us eating more plant-based foods and incorporating that into our everyday life to make sure that we're eating enough and getting enough nutrients, I was asking her about how her trip went. And she was like, not only did I find something for my daughter to get away from that toxic ramen that is $1 at the store that you can go grab, a $2 at the store, however much it is, that I was eating in college because I was so broke. And she was talking about how the fact that she had tried this new rice noodle that she found. And even though I don't eat a lot of rice, I'm not saying you can't completely eat rice, but there is factors to eating rice and why I don't eat it as much, because it's not that great for your body. We're trying to get better, healthier habits, right? And she was talking about how much her daughter loved the new ramen that she tried and how much better her day was, how much better her sleep was from not eating all that sodium, and how bloated she was after eating all that sodium. And so this is all just to say that it's about the training. It's not about blaming yourself or feeling like you've done something wrong and you haven't ever gotten it right, but it's about the training that you were under. We all were trained into these terrible habits. So now it's time for us to reparent ourselves, understanding that conventional care that they teach us about when we go to the doctor and we might get a diagnosis and have a prescription manages diseases. It does not coach you into daily metabolic repair. It does not teach you into learning those habits that help you have a healthy foundation. So no one is helping you sit down and explaining and making a plan for you to have blood sugar patterns that are healthy ones that form, that help you be able to balance yourself daily. How to keep your insulin from being chronically elevated. They're not teaching you how to keep inflammation low, because inflammation is blocking your insulin signaling, and teaching and breaking down how it's blocking your insulin signaling. They're not teaching you how cortisol is going to spike. And when your cortisol spikes, how it drives dysregulation when it comes to your glucose. And your glucose is what's supposed to distribute energy all throughout your cells. They're not teaching you how muscle inactivity, not just telling you to get into the gym and work out as hard as you can, but how important it is just for you to get up and get moving, because muscle inactivity is going to reduce your glucose uptake, which means your glucose cannot flow through the cells like it needs to be able to use and convert into energy to move throughout your body. And how erratic eating or you fasting your way into losing weight destabilizes your metabolism more than you just eating all the junk. So women are left here trying to find these random solutions. So this is why you're cutting out carbs blindly, thinking that carbs are the problem, skipping your meals, over exercising, because a lot of you don't understand how important it is to know your cycle phases, like we talked about a minute ago, to know when important and impactful types of workouts are during your cycle phases. Buying supplements and taking supplements, not knowing if this supplement is truly actually what you're taking. Not only that, but a lot of times you don't understand, are you going to take the supplement for the rest of your life? Because that's what you have to do if you're going to supplement it in and not eat it. Because food should be your medicine. You should be able to eat your nutrients. And if you're not getting it from the foods, you have to look at what you're eating. So for my girlies who are iron deficient, it's not just because you menstruate. It's because you don't eat enough iron. It's specifically when you release more iron during the time of menstruation, you should be preparing your body to have plenty of iron to not only expel but to still have some. These random solutions that women are taught to do are based on stimulation, not structure. They want to stimulate your mind to make you feel like you're doing something, but not giving you the structure to have change. Stimulation never creates metabolic safety within yourself. So you have to have better practices by learning from a healthy, correct foundation. Inflammation is not just swelling in the body. It's you understanding that you are under cellular stress. And a lot of that cellular stress is coming from your insulin receptors. And so your body has stayed in survival mode for years. Thank you for sharing the live. I really appreciate it. Please tap the screen if you're finding value in this. I really do appreciate it. So you're sitting here in a space where you're on survival mode. So even when you're trying harder, your metabolism is going to resist this because it does not feel safe within you. So when you have an anti-inflammatory lifestyle, this is going to create internal safety for you. So the body's going to feel safe. So that means your blood sugar is going to stabilize. Your insulin is going to stop demanding for your pancreas to pump out more. Your hormones are going to regulate themselves. Your fat storage is going to shift. And your energy is going to restore. You're going to have energy when you wake up. You're not going to need to depend on coffee. You're not going to need to depend on caffeine. It is not about you having the new hype trend of whatever diet it is, but it's about you learning your own physiology. And so you don't need to implement more tips. You don't need to have more discipline, or you don't need to go harder in the gym. You need structure that lives through your day. How to eat properly, how to move properly, how to have recovery habits, how to regulate your stress, and not just stress of like work and family, but the stress that happens within your body when you don't eat the correct foods and how it impacts your conscious and subconscious mind. Learning about how your metabolic rhythm is impacting your body. And this knowledge will become embodiment, not just a whole bunch of information for you to hold on to, but knowledge that you can use. Embodiment creates results that you don't have to force, but you have to know what to do. So what I provide for you is a space where you're not going to be panicking, but you're going to have a decisive plan and a structure. And so in my metabolic reversal method that is linked in my bio, that is my program name, you learn how to regulate your blood sugar daily. You learn how to stabilize your insulin through strategic food sequencing and understanding how important it is to use food as your medicine. You're identifying inflammatory triggers. You are able to map out your cortisol patterns, learn how to cycle sync, and understanding how important they are for your muscle activation protocols as well as your eating habits. Learning how we are going to recalibrate our habits with accountability, not blaming ourselves for not knowing or blaming ourselves for being hungry, but taking accountability of I'm hungry, so let me eat something, and let me eat something correct. Rebuilding your metabolism, helping build a healthy metabolism. This is what your system is looking for, not scattered advice or confusion. It's looking for stabilization. It's looking for more stable energy. It's looking for fewer crashes, reduced cravings. It's wanting you to reduce your abdominal fat. It's wanting better sleep. It's looking for improved labs. It's looking for you to walk confidently into your appointment and know that you took care of yourself. And the body is going to respond appropriately for this. So if you are looking for that program, it is linked to my bio. Please drop any questions that you have down below here in the comments on TikTok. And if you were over on YouTube, drop anything that you have in the comments as well. I will post it. I will comment. I will respond to your comments. And this will be posted on my YouTube next week. I post every Tuesday and Thursday on YouTube. So if you have not subscribed over there, go check that out. Subscribe to my YouTube, as well as if you are on YouTube. If you want to catch me live, I'm over here on TikTok 3 days a week. So if you have not got on my email list as well, you do get all the freebies every single Wellness Wednesday. I send out an email letting you know all the goodies, all the freebies, all the things that I've been learning. I'm not seeing any questions, and I do have to go to the store. So I hope that you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Like I said, drop any questions that you have if you are on my YouTube. I will see you guys later. I hope you have an amazing rest of your Thursday, and peace, y'all.